Meeting's being live streamed. Got it.
Ew, so did it go through?
Yeah, it says this meeting is being live streamed. Does everybody get the same notification?
Yeah, I got it.
Yep, it's there.
Okay.
Great. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hi, YouTube. Welcome to the world's fastest Lolita 101 panel. Lolita Fashion 101 is what I've lovingly named my panel. It is presented by me, Rachel. Special thanks to Kim and Ain for helping me edit this, and Kim for helping me, well, basically making of the vast majority of the visuals in the beginning. So Kim from the Milwaukee community, thank you very much. So we're going to jump into just explaining what is Lolita fashion, brief history and influences. I cut this section down a lot because I didn't want to have to bombard everybody with tons of information, but it's a street fashion in Japan known for looking delicate, doll-like, fluffy, frilly, everything beautiful and roughly. It's not related to the novel. We're not exactly sure why Japanese street fashion people who came up with this fashion named it that. No consensus on why it's called that. The fashion is not about the book. Ironic since this is a library event, but it's really not related. The historical inspirations come from Rococo fashion, something that you would see in the late 18th century in France and Western Europe. So big panier gowns, big robe à la française, the sort of mantua gowns. The style is based on that because of all the ruffles and the excess trim, but there's also Victorian children's clothing, which is the shorter dresses you can see in the middle here and on the right. The shorter length is more of a children's length of dress because most women back then in the 18th and 19th century were wearing full-length dresses up until about the 20th century. So like tea time is a big influence on it as well, like cute stuff that girls would wear to tea. The other inspiration for the fashion is the Japanese visual kei rock scene. So if you guys are familiar with like Malice Miser, Antique Cafe, things like that back in the 90s and 2000s, fans of those would start wearing Lolita fashion to try to imitate some of those stars. And this is what they looked like back in the 90s and the early thousands. This is what we call old school Lolita now, but this is the fashion basically back when it was starting to blossom into its true like aesthetic of what we have today of big poofy skirts and lots of coordinating things. In the beginning, though, it was not always cut and dry and things were really mismatchy, but this is the origin of the fashion and it generally grew up out of the 90s and the thousands. This is more of what Lolita looks like today. So you can see that they generally all have the big puffy petticoat shaped skirt, lots of accessories, matching bags and headwear. Sometimes, as you can see on the right, this chick has a matching doll for her outfit, the same dress, same outfit, very extra. So there's some other examples of what we might see at an actual runway on the right. That's for a major.
I'm going to interrupt you, Rachel, real quick.
Yeah.
We have some technical issues right now because the presentation is stuck on the first slide.
It's stuck on the first slide?
Yeah. So
let me see. Screen sharing is paused. I have to resume share. Okay, is it working?
Now it's working.
Now.
Okay, I don't know why it was
all good
paused. Now. Okay, so here's our first slide explaining the thing. Here is some of our historical influences, as you can see here.
It's skipping through now.
Yes, and then here are some examples of old school Lolita. Thank you guys for letting me know. Okay, let me know if that happens again, and I'll hopefully fix it. But these are examples of modern Lolita. These are other examples of modern Lolita. This is what people look like generally today, just examples. So this is the anatomy of an outfit. Generally, you'll have a main piece, which is going to be the focal point of your outfit. So in Japan, they call a dress with sleeves a one piece. They call a dress without sleeves a jumper skirt, and a skirt is just a skirt. All of those can be a main piece generally. You'll generally have some kind of leg wear or socks or leggings or tights to match your outfit. You'll have something covering your legs. It can be ankle socks too. You'll have some kind of embellished shoes or cute shoes to go with your outfit. Usually a blouse or a shirt will go under something that doesn't have sleeves, and then some kind of matching headwear. So we have a hat, we have a headdress, we have a head bow. I'm wearing a flower crown and clips. There's many examples of headwear. So when you're building an outfit, we're going to start from the base layers in. You're going to start with your base support. So if you need a bra or bust support, you'll need one of those to help maintain shape under the dress. Some people don't wear one, but many people do. Some kind of butt coverage, because when your skirt is poofy and you bend over, you are more likely to show what is under that skirt. So we have examples of bloomers on the right here that just cute ways to cover your butt from showing when you bend over. You can also wear shorts. Petticoat shapes can vary. You can find short hoop skirts and poofy ones made of poofy material like this, like organza or tulle. The shape is important because the skirts are generally always cut to hold some type of volume underneath it. So that's why the petticoat's important. That's one of your base layers. They also make hoop skirts like this that are adjustable. There's generally two types of skirt shapes, although most dresses tend to be more bell-shaped these days, but A-line doesn't flare out as much at the top and it flares out very much at the bottom. And then cupcake or bell shape are poofy all the way around. Bell shapes are usually rectangle skirts gathered, if you guys know anything about like sewing. So when you're building a basic outfit, also starting from the bottom up, so your shirt or your blouse or your top will generally be what you're going to put under a jumper skirt, and you pretty much have to wear one with a skirt because I don't think an outfit will work if you're topless. So you're going to have to wear a blouse. Some kind of coverage for your shoulders is good, and it also protects the your dress from too much of your body sweat. It adds another layer of creativity, so you can have something with a collar like we have here, or something without a collar, which is what I'm wearing today. You can layer this, and there's different things you can do for the weather. So we have options like cardigans and boleros and long sleeve blouses, so you can deal with any type of weather with these. When you're building a basic outfit, when you're going to consider your main piece that's going to go usually over your blouse or replace the blouse if there's sleeves, you're going to want to look for something that you like. You're going to want to look for something that will match the rest of your outfit. And then you're going to want to pick something with a theme or a motif that you enjoy. So if you like sailor stuff, we have this example of a sailor dress with a collar. Or if you like gingham and you like picnicky things, you like cottagecore stuff. This dress on the right with the tiers and the ruffles and the bows, and the gingham, that's very, very cute, very summery. Experiment to find what's right for your style. A jumper skirt might have more leeway for adjusting it up and down, or in the back, it's more likely to have like a stretchy panel to fit you. Most one pieces manufactured by big brands don't have any stretchy stuff in the back, but some of them do. So these are examples of main pieces. We have a jumper skirt. We have the one piece and the jumper skirt from the same print, just as an example to show you how they cut them a little differently. And then here's a skirt. This is a high-waisted skirt with a blouse underneath. Oops, I did not mean to go all the way back. Sorry. I did not mean to go all the way back. Let me go back to my slide. Here we are. Sorry. Okay, wonderful. That's what I get for hitting the N key. So head accessories. This is going to be like the cherry on top of your sundae that is your outfit. So we talked earlier about rectangle headdresses. It's literally shaped like a rectangle. It's usually surrounded by lace and bows, and then it's tied to your head or clipped to your head. We have berets and hats. You can also wear I have straw boater hats, as you can see here, this strawberry one with the ribbon on the lower right. I love wearing straw hats. In the summer, they protect your head. It's great. They're super cute. Sometimes a little hard to stay on your head, but some of them come with ribbons. You can tie them on. A head bow, as you can see on the model with the bangs, those are really common. That's a side head bow, but head bows are often made to match the outfit that you're buying if you buy it new, but you can also just find plain ones that are simple enough to match. Bonnets are obviously on the upper middle. Isabella and Anne are both wearing a bonnet today, but bonnets are these big, beautiful things that surround your head and give your face a lot of like focal presence in your outfit. It's very like over the top and very, very cute. There's also lots of clips. I have clips in my hair. I have flower clips. I have a cherry clip. I'm wearing a flower crown. You can kind of go nuts with this. There's lots of things you can do for your hair accessories. You can also go minimal with it. A lot of people just wear small hair accessories. Depending on how elaborate your outfit is, you may want more or less on your head. Leg wear. You don't have to cover your whole legs, but it's good to have some kind of focal point unless you're wearing really cute sandals to match, which, I mean, I don't think it's sacrilege. Some people do. But generally, you'll want something to cover your legs just to balance the fit. So we have over the knee socks, which are in Japanese terms, they shorten it to OTK. Under the knee, we shorten it to UTK. Ankle socks are really common. You can find ankle socks from a lot of retailers now. You can get printed tights really easily online. AliExpress has a lot of them, and some of the Chinese retailers we'll talk about later make a lot of indie pattern tights that are printed like this, and a surprising amount of them are actually very big leg friendly. So you'd be surprised. But under the knee socks are really common in old school, as you can see on the right, and then over the knee socks, as you can see on the left, these are more common within the last about 10 years. They started to rise to prominence then. Some of them are made to be printed to go with the dress that you have, but a lot of people don't have a full set, like a full matching set of the hair accessories and the leg wear. So don't worry if it doesn't match, but they do exist. Shoes. There's lots of options for shoes. Generally, people say avoid sneakers, but there are a few examples of really cute ones like these Pumas, and I know that it's becoming more popular to pair streetwear shoes with Lolita now. However, generally, most people are going to wear cute ones that match, made with bows and lots of straps. As you can see on the lower middle here, this is called a Tea Party style shoe. It was created by Angelic Pretty, which is one of the main Lolita brands. Most popular type of shoe for Sweet Lolita these days. But you don't have to just buy that. You can get away with a lot of these. We have lots of boots. There's lace-up options. There's some heels. I wouldn't recommend wearing heels for long-term wear, but there's lots of cute sneakers and boots and stuff that you can wear. Heels and platforms are also really popular. So More examples of really elaborate shoes. A lot of goth outfits do like platforms, but they also like stompy flatforms. Doc Martens are also an option, although some people think that's sacrilege. I disagree, but there's plenty of shoe options. A lot of them are really cute. These ones on the lower right are inspired by 18th century fashion, but they don't stay on your feet very well, so they're mostly for photos. At least I've been told. Bags. So matching your bag to your outfit, it doesn't have to be 100% if you really need something to carry your stuff around, but a lot of people do carry a matching bag or something that looks really cute with their outfit, and then they can keep a practical bag on the side or something. However, lots of Lolita bags these days are made to be big enough to hold lots of things. Some of them are heart-shaped with these ruffles. This is made by an indie brand on the upper middle, the red one. And then on the lower left, the red one with the metal handles, that's made by a Japanese brand. Those are really popular, and they usually come with a crossbody strap, just like the clock bag. There are plush bags where you can usually fit just a few things in there, but it's not a very functional bag. They're just meant to be very cute. You can also use tapestry bags or wicker basket bags, and novelty star-shaped bags are also very popular now. There's a lot of shape bags being made on Kickstarter as well. There's lots of like Kickstarters for cute style bags. So I would say that anything that falls kind of within the kawaii range, if it matches your outfit, you might be able to use it. There's also schoolgirl type bags, like these what are these called? It's like school style messenger bags. And these have these very cute buckles, but those are big rectangular shaped bags, and those can hold a lot of stuff. Usually you can wear them as a backpack and a crossbody. This is the famous bat bag made popular by a visual K star who then founded his own brand called Manasama. He founded Mamimati, and we'll show you them later. But he's famous for this color blue, this bright electric royal blue color. And he makes a lot of bags with this motif of the, like, this is their famous shape for their bag, is the bat shaped bag with the cross. And then Angelic Pretty makes this very expensive plush bag. I think it's like $150. It can maybe not even hold your phone. That's just how it rolls. So substyles of Lolita. Once you're into Lolita, you might go, but what type of stuff do I want to get, or what type of aesthetic in Lolita do I like? So these are kind of the three archetypes. First one, Sweet Lolita. I'm biased towards this. I mostly wear Sweet Lolita. Usually it involves pastel colors, pink and powder blue, mint, sometimes red and navy, but usually it's very, very cutesy. It looks like you fell out of a children's furniture store, and it's very, very pretty. It looks like you fell into a toy box from a fantasy land, like Candyland. You fell out of the Candyland board game and you were playing around in somebody's like toy box. Lots of cutesy motifs, ponies, stuffed animals, adorable things, just very, very cute, lots of candy. Classic Lolita, we joke about this blending into your grandmother's curtains and couch, but that's kind of unfair. It's also looking very much, it's got more sort of royal motifs. It's very much like, oh, I'm just a noble lazing on my estate in a Victorian cottage. Some of it ranges from that to sort of like country vibes. If you look like you are ready to spend a day out in the country with your governess, that's probably classic as well. It's a lot of more subdued tones, jewel tones. Book motifs are really popular, all sorts of things. If you can imagine it being sort of an antique-y, sort of the antique historical inspired cottagecore stuff, it kind of falls into that aesthetic. And then there's Gothic Lolita, where you are in a vampire movie and it is not What We Do in the Shadows. Like it's very high Crimson Peak, ranges from that to like sort of punky, grungy looks, but a lot of the examples I have here are very sophisticated. Goth can range from the substyles that we see in actual goth clothing inspired by that, but within the Lolita silhouette, to stuff that you see within like punk culture or like old school goth culture with like lots of spikes and chains and things. So it's not all buttoned up like this all the time, but these are just the examples I can find. You look like a vampire princess. There's lots of religious motifs. Usually it's dark colors, but it's not always dark colors. Sometimes it's white as well. Here are some examples of Japanese fashion brands. This is the most popular one, Angelic Pretty. I think they're one of the brands that's been around for longer, doing proper Lolita style stuff. They're pretty famous for releasing crazy prints that are very beautiful. And their stuff sells out very quickly sometimes, much to the chagrin of their fans. Baby the Star Shine Bright, one of the other old school, well, not old school, they were founded, I think, in the 80s or 90s brands, so they've also been around for a very long time. They make a lot more sweet stuff that straddles sweet classic, but their stuff still airs on the side of very sweet most of the time. Metamorphose, I cannot expound how much I love Metamorphose. They make a lot of styles. They make basically every style. They make a lot of size inclusive pieces. They release things in colors that nobody else does. They mainly, I think their main genre, their main substyle of stuff that they tend to release straddles between sweet and classic. mostly classic. They make a lot of solid pieces as well, and they make a lot of stuff inspired by Japanese aesthetics. You can see on the left, they make a lot of dresses inspired by kimono and traditional Japanese colors. They're also famous for making sailor outfits. Sailor outfits, as we can see on the upper right, they release a lot of stuff with sailor collars, usually every summer. And that's kind of one of the things they're famous for. Innocent World, one of the, I think it's probably the most prolific, like strictly classic Lolita brands. Let me just not hit my mic, sorry. One of the most prolific classic Lolita brands. They tend to make lots of royal motifs, things that you would find like in somebody's antique jewelry box. They make dresses that would match those. Lots of deer jewel tones. As you can see, these like prints are really intricate and they're super cute. This is Moi Moitié. This is the brand that was founded by Visual K star Mana of Moi Moi fame. If you guys are familiar with Visual K, if you're not, it's okay. But if you look up Mana-sama, you will find stuff on him. That is him in the middle. He wears Lolita fashion and like sort of the men's sub-styles as well. He tends to wear more of the like masculine clothing these days, but he founded this brand. It's his baby and he still makes stuff for it. I mean, he makes a lot of things besides just Lolita as well, but these are the archetypes of the stuff he makes. Prints with like iron gates and beautiful detailing with electric blue and black. Also florals, like the long floral dress he's wearing. This is Atelier Pierrot. They are a brand that they run their own store that sells a lot of other independent brands on consignment as well, but they do sell a lot of their own designs. Mainly they make solids, lots of long bustle dresses and bustle skirts. They make giant, beautiful bonnets, and they have really good sales. I highly, highly appreciate them, and they are great. So OG and boys style. This is just as an overview. I'm not an expert on OG and boys style, but if you like the aesthetics of Lolita clothing, but you would rather wear something leaning more masculine, OG and boys style are for you. Generally, you kind of look like if the Lolita is the princess counterpart of the femme side of this fashion, OG is, as the name suggests, it means prince. It is the prince side of this. So generally, you'll have the same kind of ensemble as a Lolita outfit with the layering and the accessories, but you might pair pants and a vest instead of a dress or a top and a skirt. As you can see in the middle, this is a set that's made to match for the masculine and the feminine version of this outfit. And so the jackets are made to fit either silhouette. And this is actually, it's a really fun style. I'm not going to cover it in depth today, but it's very, very cool. And the stuff that you learned from buying Lolita today will help you if you ever want to get into OG and boy style as well. Shopping and community, where to get the stuff that you want to wear and find your local community. Where to buy online. Here are examples of where to buy things online. I recommend taking a screenshot if you'd like to go through all of these, or just pausing the video if you're watching this later. But the main ones, Angelic Pretty USA and Baby are both based in San Francisco. They will ship out generally the same week you order from them. They're pretty fast and they have new stuff there, so you're not buying anything used. Atelier Pierrot is based in Japan. They have sales occasionally. If you DM them on Instagram, they can PayPal invoice you and then you'll get tax off for free. They sell a lot of independent brands based in Japan and they're shipping, I think it's free after $200. Lolita Collective, they are based in the Midwest. They sell indie brand online and at cons. So at conventions, they'll have a booth full of stuff you can buy. They're very reputable. They're great. Lace Market is like Lolita Depop. So if you're interested in just looking through a sort of eBay Depop style website to look for things, that is where you should go. Wonderwelt is a Japanese-based secondhand website. So check them out as well. They have a really useful cart system and they're super easy to navigate. Everything's in English. Cotton Candy Feet sells brand new shoes and bags, and I believe they're based in Brazil. Me Likes Tees partnered with them to sell mostly petticoats, and they can both ship them together. So if you need a shoe, a bag, and a petticoat, you can buy them all at the same time and just pay shipping once. Closet Child is a Japanese-based secondhand website. So they sell Lolita secondhand. They also sell regular J fashion that's more casual secondhand. Night Whisper Lolita is based on Etsy. I believe they're based in the Midwest and they sell Taobao items, but they're a reputable reseller and they sell a lot of plus size as well. My Lolita Dress is also a Taobao reseller. They take a little longer to ship, but they're based in China itself and they have, they take orders for pre-orders for a lot of things. But these are just some examples. So shopping services, this is going to sound very confusing. Don't think of it as too confusing. Basically, you're trying to order something from another country. They don't ship to your country. What do? You pay a service where you pay them, they buy the item for you, they get the item. They might collect a bunch of items that you ship to their warehouse, they bundle it up for you and then send it to you in a package. There are two different types of shopping services I'm going to talk about. One is from Japan and one is from China, because there are a lot of indie brands based in China that only sell on a Chinese platform. So shopping services, Japanese shopping services I recommend. Mercari, you can buy from Japanese Mercari, I think easily using they can order from Mercari. I think you can use it with like Buyee. There's a few examples here. So I have Buyee, Zen Market, White Rabbit Express, etc. Tenso is really popular. Tenshi Shop is an independent person, but you send them a link to the thing you want to buy. They invoice you for payment. You pay them for it. They receive the item and then they quote you for shipping and then they ship it to you. So Chinese shopping service, they do the same thing. They might order from Taobao, which is sort of like eBay and Amazon had a baby and it's in China. So they sell basically anything on Taobao. Anything that's legal to sell in China is on Taobao. So there's a lot of independent Lolita brands there. But if you want to buy from Taobao, generally things are pre-order, only some things are in stock, so it might take a lot longer, but generally the price is a little bit better. All right, what to avoid? Here's where to not buy from. I know that if you guys have been around for like more than a few months in Lolita, you probably know not to buy from these places, but Milanu, Lolita Inn, Light in the Box, Lolita Charm, Lolita Show, Rose Gal, Lolita Dress Shop, etc. Probably not from Yes Style. I mean, Yes Style doesn't really have proper Lolita on it for the most part, and if they do, it's usually marked up from stuff that you can find on AliExpress for the same, and it's the same thing. Generally don't buy from US Mercari, Depop, or Poshmark because a lot of people don't know if they have like replicas. Many of the stuff on there is just not legit. So if you're starting out there, don't buy from there. eBay, Wish, and Amazon, same thing. A lot of the reviews might look good, but most of them are design ripoffs. They're made with bad materials. They don't look right. It's because they took the picture from something else and they just made their own version. It's usually not very good. AliExpress, the quality can be iffy, but there is actual Lolita on AliExpress, but just take it slow. Don't buy from there to begin with until you like know what you're looking at. Google's your friend. If you can't find website legit and it's on Google and it doesn't, and things on there are coming up about like scam sites and people not getting their orders, don't order from there. Bad idea. Also, just to explain, we're not gatekeeping you from buying cheap Lolita. We just don't want you to buy bad things. Don't buy bad things. Don't buy bad quality stuff. You're going to end up with something that looks like a Halloween costume if you order it from Milanu. Okay. We don't want you wearing something that's sad and it's going to make you sad because it's like paper thin parachute material. Okay. We don't want you to have to wear that. So quality and patience are better than quantity and instant gratification. Take your time. Common questions I like to answer to people. What if my parents will only let me buy Lolita from Amazon? Take your time and save up your own money to buy from a reputable seller because there's no rush to buy the things that you actually want. It's better to not rush in to buy an Amazon dress and then be unhappy with it. It's better to just wait and see, oh, I actually like this dress and I can buy it on my own from a different website for $40 or $50. And then you'll save your time and money and you'll save your parents' time and money because you're not just buying bad stuff that's going to fall apart. Do I have to strictly follow rules? People might tell you there's rules in Lolita. What's the line? It's like from Pirates of the Caribbean. They're more like guidelines actually, or they're more like suggestions or something. They're not really rules. It's made up. We all made this. This is all made up anyway. It's all very arbitrary. Just learn how to build a good outfit. The reason why people are giving you advice on how to balance your outfits is to make sure that you get a good eye for what works together. Find what you want to wear and then make sure that you are happy with the outfit. I'm plus size. Will I be able to find Lolita on a budget? Yes, you might have to be patient to find those options, but there's a lot more plus size Lolitas in the fashion these days. Therefore, there's more plus size Lolita resale these days. And there's much more options to begin with for them to buy, which is much easier than it used to be in the past. Even within the last 5 years, it's like improved a lot. Be patient, take your measurements or get them taken at a tailor with like supportive garments on if you're going to wear those, and make sure that you have those accurately so that you can look for stuff that's in your size. Do I need to wear Lolita to special occasions? No, go grocery shopping if you want. Nobody cares. Don't exercise in it. I highly recommend do not exercise in it. Bad idea. But if you're going to wear it for something like a chill activity and you don't need to like run or do crazy things, yeah, just think of it as like a nice dress. I have certain accessibility or comfort needs. Can I still wear the fashion? Yep, just accommodate it to see what's comfortable for you. Plenty of people need like walking aids or they have other things where they can't. For instance, people who have like a foot problem or a leg problem, they might have to wear a leg brace and they can't wear cute shoes. That's fine. Nobody cares. Do whatever you want. You have to wear big, thick glasses. Nobody cares. Totally fine. Do what you think is best for you. A wig is too itchy. I don't wear wigs. This is my own hair. Like I don't have to. So nobody has to, and you don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's fine. Do I need to wear a wig or do my makeup or do my hair? Technically, no. I mean, like anything in fashion, doing your hair and makeup and wearing a wig sometimes might elevate the outfit or do something that you might not be able to do with your own hair. Maybe it's a creative choice, but don't feel pressured to do that. Like I've gone to meetups with barely any or no makeup on before, and it's totally fine. It's also totally okay to not have bangs, as you can see from this model on the left, in a bonnet, not wearing bangs. Plenty of people are like, oh, you are wearing Lolita, you need to wear bangs. I actually follow somebody on Instagram her handle is Minty Pile, and she has no bangs and she wears her natural hair and like everything. So it's very, very cool. I personally don't tend to wear wigs. Will people be rude to me in Lolita? Honestly, yes. But will people be rude to you if you wear normal, cute fashion as well? Definitely. People are going to be weird and rude to you no matter what. I mean, there have been times when I've gone outside my house wearing an outfit that I thought was totally normal. It's just like a sundress and cute sneakers, and people have like honked at me, and it's very weird. I don't know what their problem is, but ignore them because they don't matter. Just remember, the normies don't matter. Their opinions on your weird outfit don't matter because they're boring. All right, ignore them. They're disruptive. They're trying to ruin your day. They're not going to ruin your day because you look better than them. All right, so you might be trying to dress for a Lolita ideal and you want to wear heels everywhere, but in reality, you might be going to McDonald's after your meetup or like popping into Target. Very popular activity actually after meetups is to go to Target and get stuff that you need or to get fast food somewhere. Dress for what you're going to do that day practically. And if you want to take photos, you can generally get away with something more elaborate, but remember your comfort is key. So if you're going to wear heels that hurt for more than half an hour, like bring a change of shoes or just wear different shoes. It's okay. Always dress for the weather. If you're going to a meetup and there's going to be some kind of inclement weather going on, it's okay to wear something that's not super cute. Like they do make raincoats for Lolita now. This is from a Taobao brand. It's a little bit hard to find though, so I don't blame anybody if they can't find it. But if you need to wear a rain poncho or some kind of raincoat and rain boots, that's fine. Dress for the weather. Same with winter. Do not freeze to death for Lolita. These coats on the left are very cute, but many of them are not super warm. You can definitely layer to keep warm in the winter, so you can wear stuff under your outfit if you need to. Uniqlo makes these thin layers called Heat Tech. But if you have to wear a normal down jacket and you're normal slugging around in the slush boots, that's fine. We don't want you to have hypothermia, okay? So finding a community, these are examples of local communities near you guys. We have Milwaukee Lolita Society, Madison Lolita Society, Chicago Lolita Community. I'm the admin of that. There's the Central Illinois Lolitas, and if they're not listed, go to bit.ly/LolitaComs. As you can see here, my friend made an exhaustive list of all the communities, I think, in the United States, and some of them abroad as well. Online, you can find Facebook groups like Ruffle Chat and Lolita Updates. Lolita Updates will tell you stuff that's, people will post for, hey, this item or this bag or this dress or something is coming out on this day, and here's what it looks like. There are some Discords you can join. We have Lolita Fashion Mentoring. There's one for Milwaukee and the Chicago community as well. So if you join those communities, you can get into those Discords. Here are some examples of the Milwaukee Lolita Society. This was at an art museum in like 2019, as you can see from my different hair color. And my and this is just one group of people. We wandered around an art museum all day. On the right is a picture with one of my friends at a swap meet, and behind us you can see there's a rack full of stuff at the swap meet for sale. This is from a Chicago meetup that I think was last year. I want to say this was like a cafe meetup. I think that was last year. So there's actually a bunch of Madison Lolitas in this picture, but there's also a lot of Chicago Lolitas here as well. So props to the Madison Lolitas for driving down to be with us. All right, how to afford this when you're on a budget. Go to a swap meet at one of those communities if you join them. Usually it's like a potluck. We'll have a lot of stuff for sale. People love when you show up and only want to buy things, even if you're not in Lolita, that's totally fine. Sometimes we have them at conventions as well. People usually want to be paid with either PayPal, Venmo, or cash. You can also try stuff on usually. Like we had a hotel room swap meet at Anime Central. So that was pretty cool. Buying secondhand. So these are examples from one of the Japanese websites on this dark panel here. This is a jumper skirt for sale for roughly $55 US plus shipping and tax and everything. So it might equal out to closer to 70 after shipping, but it's a very, very good deal. It's a brand new dress. It has a head bow. It has the tags. Wonderful. You can get a lot of deals there. There's this on the right is from Lace Market. This was $40 and I think the shipping was included. So $50 with shipping. But there's a lot of deals on Lace Market, and online you can find seller feedback and make sure that the person selling is like legit. But there are a lot of deals. You can get a whole outfit these days for under, I don't know, like a pretty decent price. I want to say under 200 or under 150. You can find a decent outfit these days. How to get started. So here's what we're putting all together. So remember the anatomy of an outfit we talked about earlier. This is your main piece. This is the jumper skirt. It's a plaid jumper skirt. This is your blouse on the right, the matching beret. These are some socks to go with it, some shoes, and a bag that matches as well. You don't even have to get as exhaustive as this. You could probably use a black bag as well, but this is just one example of an easy cord to make. You got to get a petticoat for that cord, so make sure you have the right support under that skirt to keep that poofy shape. You need a blouse or a top. Have your measurements taken to make sure that these fit you correctly. Look for outfits you like. build your wardrobe with pieces that complement each other and that work together. Try different things, different bags, different accessories, different hats, different whatever. If you don't think that a blouse looks good with a certain dress, try a different blouse if you have it, or just maybe you can look into a different main piece that matches a blouse that you like, or you can find something in a similar color so you can use all the same blouses you have again. Consider something practical, so like a short sleeve blouse for summer, a long sleeve blouse for winter, a cardigan for when it gets colder. Stuff like that. What to avoid? Again, please do not buy off Milanu. You're going to be sad if you buy from eBay, Amazon, Wish, or US Mercari. Don't buy from there. There's a lot of replicas on US Mercari. Don't buy Lolita from the sketchy variety booths at conventions selling maid outfits for like $100. Those are $20 on AliExpress and they are ripping you off, honey. Do not buy from there. Anything that seems too good to be true, they might not be selling it. So they might not be selling what they tell you they're selling. So look out. A lot of material is going to be cheap and it's going to look wrong. All right. Thanks. And that's most of my advice for this panel. I hope that was helpful. Oh, and here's my Instagram handle. It's at Ray Rachel. No pressure. You can go roast my outfits. Thanks. Okay. I think we're ready to move into the Q&A if you guys are okay with that. I can keep sharing if that's fine, and I can just move to a different panel if you want.
Okay. So have we done introductions yet?
No, we have not.
No,
You have not.
Here, I'll just keep it on. I'm gonna do this one because it's my favorite slide. Here,
It is a good slide.
Yeah.
All right, Ain, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Ain, Rise of Rain. She, her pronouns. And I've been dressing in Lolita for about 7.5 years now. I'd say my favorite piece is from Metamorphose, Top de Fille. It's the magical artifact jumper skirt. And my favorite style, I usually wear classic Lolita like today, and a little bit of sweet, a little bit of gothic. I do a little bit of everything. So that's me. Rachel, do you want to go next?
Sure. So hi, my name is Rachel. I'm one of the admins of the Chicago community. I've been wearing Lolita for, oh gosh, maybe 10 years, 8, 9, 10 years, something like that. I started very badly in like 2012, I want to say. My favorite style to wear is usually sweet. I also like to go very accommodating my own comfort with my outfits. I'm a big proponent of wearing sneakers with Lolita as long as they're cute and they match. And I don't know, I'm the weird person that shows up to meetups, makes strange faces, gets everybody to dab for a photo, and then I leave. That's mostly what I do. My favorite brands, I really like Meta, but I wear a lot of indie brand stuff, and I wear a lot of Baby as well. This is Baby the Star Shine Bright. I really do like Meta and Baby. I think they're both wonderful. All right, Jay, do you want to go next?
Yeah, for sure. Hi, I'm Jay. I've been to Lolita for a while, probably at least since like 2009-ish or so. But I've really started really recently wearing it since like 2013. So I run a like Lolita adjacent TikTok account under GG the Surreal Girl. And my favorite brands are mainly Atelier Perot and Metamorphose. Those are my two go-tos. I am a plus size Lolita, so I do have to kind of be a little bit more selective about what I generally pick out and wear. So those are the two brands I know that like what I pick will generally be okay. And then I think the only person left is Isabella.
It's me, isn't it? All right, awesome. So hi everyone. I go by Isabella online. Also, if you know me on Instagram, I'm Kawaii and Loe, which that's a whole nother story. Hit me up for a drink sometime. We'll talk about why that is what it is. My favorite style is sweet. Sweet. So I started in sweet in about 2013, so that makes it about 9 years from now. I eventually migrated more into more of a Hime look. I like that look better. Couple of things, I guess my favorite piece is Rosa Mystica from Baby. It was one of the first really nice brand pieces I ever got, so it has a special place in my heart forever and in my closet forever, even though it's actually dirt cheap on Lace Market right now if you're looking for it. Beyond that, what else were we saying? Also, I am one of the moderators of the Milwaukee Lolita Society, and I've been in that role for quite a few years now, so I feel out of place with the Chicago Lolitas, but yay.
That's fine. Sorry, we're better. We just are.
No, you guys are fine.
Oh, I'm kidding.
So
I'm
do we
kidding.
want to answer a few questions? Like we don't have anything on YouTube. So or in the room. Anybody in the room have any questions to ask? Okay. So let's see.
I have the list of questions pulled up if you want me to run through that.
Yeah, you can.
Sure.
Yes.
So, okay, the first question, what is the must-have Lolita item? I'll just chime in and say I think a petticoat is a must-have Lolita item. It's the
Yes.
thing that gives you your shape to your coordinates. Definitely one of the most like first things that you should buy if you're starting in Lolita fashion. So open it up to everyone else.
Yeah. Anyone else have another item?
Sure,
Good pick.
I'll just
Yeah.
elaborate on that. So like petticoat was mine as well. So one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is Lolita dresses are cut specifically to hold a petticoat. So if you do not have a petticoat, they do not look good. Like it's just the way it
Most
is.
of
It's
them.
how they're cut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. There are some very casual ones that may not need one, but for the most part, they're cut assuming you're going to have a petticoat under it. So it's definitely a must-have item.
Yeah, they'll look depressing otherwise. It's like, trust me,
Yeah,
like
it
when you
looks
put on the
very
petticoat,
sad.
it's like night and day.
Yes.
I'd add that like a good pair of shoes is also really important, especially like one that's like if you have like me, I mainly have a black wardrobe, so I have like at least one good pair of black shoes I can wear out, and like I can wear in all-purpose weather. Because if you don't have the right pair of shoes, it'll throw off your whole outfit, and you'll just keep focusing on them in the mirror, and you'll be like, okay, I probably need to get other shoes. So good pair of shoes, a petticoat, and you can work up from there.
Yes.
My answer was actually a blouse because most people, a lot of times when they'll start, they'll be like, oh, I'll just get a dress with sleeves. Honey, you're pigeonholing yourself. Don't do that. Get
That is
a
true.
blouse.
Yeah.
Get a blouse
is
you
so
like. Get
true.
like a neutral color blouse, like white or ivory or black, usually. Get one that fits you and get one with a collar style that won't drive you crazy. So, like, if you don't like high neck collars, don't get a high neck collar. If you like big collars, get something with a big collar or something with an open neckline like this. Get something that's like a good basic, good staple. It can go under stuff, and then you don't have to pigeonhole yourself into only one pieces because you have something to wear under a JSK or with a skirt. So get something that like fit, and get something that doesn't gap on your boob area. That's a big thing. Make sure it fits.
That's
you.
important.
Yeah, it's important. Even if it's just a casual top that like works for Lolita and looks really good under stuff, just get yourself a nice like good blouse or good shirt. Okay.
Yeah. You can also find like a cardigan can also work in a pinch if you like layer
Yeah.
it properly enough.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot easier to find like a cutesy cardigan than it is a cutesy blouse in my personal
That's
experience.
true. Or like even
Yeah.
just a cute casual lacy top to put under the cardigan will go a
Yeah.
long way.
Yeah.
All right. So another question. So as a Lolita, what are some difficulties that you guys have faced? Again, I'll start off. I think the most difficult thing is public perception and like going out in public. I'm usually a pretty shy person. So when you're going out in Lolita, I think it's sort of to be expected that you're going to draw attention because you're wearing something flashy. It's out of the norm. People are going to pay attention to that. And if you're someone who, for example, maybe is very shy, might have social anxiety, that can be really scary to have people pay attention to you. And the thing is, most people, they usually fall into a range of like, oh, interesting. Okay, moving on to they'll come up to you. They'll be like, what are you wearing? It's so pretty. Can I touch it? To people that might, yell at you or harass you and give you negative attention. So I think that's really the most difficult part. And again, like we covered in the presentation, it is unfortunately something to be expected. But at the end of the day, as long as you feel good about yourself, that's really what matters. So that's my answer to that. So I'll open it up to everyone else.
Sure, I can talk.
Yeah.
So this one specifically, if you are in a group and you're organizing meetups, there's this concept called Lolita time, which really means that everyone shows up to the meetup at least 30 to 45 minutes late.
Yes.
Which if you're an organizer and trying to get a reservation for a restaurant at a certain time, it makes it very difficult to get the group together. So that's obviously one specific to my role. Obviously, yeah, the public perception thing is absolutely a thing. You will get stares all the time. But for me, my biggest pet peeve is the Lolita time problem, which will never be solved.
I completely relate to that because I didn't mention, but I'm actually from New York. And I'm not an admin, but I've been the event organizer. Everyone runs on Lolita time, including me. So I get it. I completely relate to that because Rachel,
To
Jay,
piggyback on that, the
yeah.
hardest thing for me sometimes I feel like I struggled with this more in the past when I didn't have a good way to organize my clothes. Now I have like racks of clothes and I can see everything. But
Mhm.
back before I had a good way to organize all my stuff, getting ready took me a long time, and that's why I was running on Lolita time, because I took forever to get ready. So now that I have a better idea of like stuff that I can throw together quickly and things that I know work together, and I sometimes will put together things before a meetup to know what looks right. Like if you organize your stuff the day before and decide that you like it, like put it on look at it in the mirror before you get ready. That will help solve this problem. But like getting ready takes up a lot of time, and it takes a lot of mental time. So
Yeah.
find something that you know works, and then you'll be less likely to run on the Lolita time. But for me, yeah, hardest part is actually getting ready sometimes, because taking it off is easy, and it's nice to take it off at the end of the day if you're really, really hot and sweaty.
Yeah. Wait, what was the question again? Sorry.
Like, what are
hardest
some
part about
difficulties
Lolita?
that you like? What are some difficulties that you've faced in Lolita?
That's kind of like a two-pronged question for me, in
Yeah.
the sense of like, for like most of my Lolita life, it was like finding stuff in my size, and like Rachel said earlier, it's gotten a lot easier to find plus size clothing just in general, especially with like the glut of like indie brands out there that at least do like 2 or 3x. So that's gotten a lot better. So now I would say that like top issue in regards to Lolita, I really like, I'm like 5'8", and so I don't really have like much of an issue going outside in Lolita. Like people don't talk to me in general, so that's
Nice.
not my issue ever. I would say that like my other issue is like being on time for sure, but also like making sure your wardrobe is cohesive, because even as a person that has like a whole like wardrobe space, like all black, I basically just like wear black and that's my thing. But even then, it's like you have to have your blacks that go with the other blacks, right? Like they all have to go together, and sometimes things get faded, things you need to re-dye, and then like accessories are such a pain because they get lost easily. It's like a swath of black, and it's very irritating. So having that organized is also really important, like Rachel said earlier.
Alicia, how are we doing on time? So I know we're running up to
Yeah.
end of the panel.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get kicked off very soon, but Alicia is MIA. That's okay.
Okay, well, I'll just go on to another question in the
Yeah, let's just do
meanwhile.
another question.
So what advice would you guys give to someone starting out in Lolita? And I'll actually toss this over to someone else, so I don't.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Oh,
Hey.
yeah,
Hi.
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
there's like a delay in the room, so we can like hear what you're saying, but like 10 minutes later.
Oh.
Alicia went to go somewhere, so she walked out of the room.
Okay.
Oh,
that's fine.
okay.
Is that you,
Um,
Molly? Hi.
Hey,
It's
Molly.
Hi, Rachel. Hi, Isabel. How are you guys? This has been a
Aw,
really great presentation. We're enjoying ourselves.
I'm so happy to
so
see you guys.
Yay.
are we running up on the end of time? How much
Yeah,
time do you
is
want to
anyone
give
kicking
us?
us out?
Oh, they're back. So
Okay.
Okay.
I will let her
Wonderful.
take it
Thank
over.
you.
Yep.
Love you. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean,
we love to see a honey cake.
I
win.
will answer that question quick.
Yeah, sure.
So one of the things is you should always, when you're starting off, and this is going to sound a little weird, but you should buy once, cry once. And what I mean by that is spend on quality, because a lot of people tend to, which doesn't mean you have to spend a lot, but make sure that you spend the right amount to get something that is of good quality.
Yes, totally agree.
Yes. Hi,
Especially
Alicia.
since it's usually
Sorry.
absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
Alicia, so we were, are we running up on the end time? Are we getting extra time?
If you want to answer, maybe because I know we started a little late, so if you want to answer, maybe want more, and then we're good.
Okay, yeah, so we'll just keep
Cool.
continuing with the question that we have. So again, the question was, what advice would you give to someone starting out in Lolita? I guess I can go. So I guess my advice would be to find mentoring if possible, having a mentor can be so super helpful. And as a newbie, I understand it can be really scary to approach, someone and ask for help. But Rachel mentioned, like, there are Discord servers that are meant for mentoring. There's Facebook groups that help out with mentoring as well. And quite honestly, I think a lot of Lolitas want to help people. They want to help newbies have the best experience they can in the fashion, because it's a hobby. It's meant to be enjoyed. So having a mentor can, help you maybe see what pieces are worth the time, like worth the money, or worth the time buying, or is that going to look good together? Or maybe those colors don't quite match. Or have you thought about pairing it with this accessory or this blouse instead? So mentors can also even like give you advice on just like how to navigate, community like dynamics as well. So yeah, having a mentor is something that I would say is really good for someone starting out.
Yeah.
Rachel, do you have anything you want to add?
Honestly, my best advice for starting Lolitas is like, how do I explain? When you're first learning the fashion, you might try to be looking for things that are like casual normie stuff that like works for Lolita. I hesitate to tell people that it's good to do that when you're starting, because when you're starting, you don't quite know things yet. Like it's okay that you're not quite ready to understand how the whole aesthetic and everything works together. The best advice I received when I was new was, don't just look for stuff that's casual that you can find in stores that will work for Lolita, because generally there's a better option that's more worth your time and more worth your money, that's from an actual recognized like Lolita, like a maker of Lolita things. So like people who make special jewelry, accessories, or shoes or blouses. So don't settle just for something that looks like a cute top that could go with stuff. You can definitely use that, but don't just settle for that as your only option, because you're going to be unhappy with the choice. And it's better to have stuff that is recognizably the aesthetic that you want than something that is just good enough to begin with. Look for staple pieces that work for the style you're going for, that work for the colors you want in your wardrobe. Don't be surprised if your wardrobe taste changes. This happens to like everybody. Don't feel like discouraged if suddenly you decide that you want to do something different with your like your sub style or whatever you're doing, because the secondhand market exists for a reason. People probably want your stuff if you don't want it anymore, and there's plenty of people selling things that are secondhand that you might want as well. So don't just jump on things that look like they might work. Go for things that you know will work. Save your money for something that is good quality, and listen to other people's advice if they're telling you, hey, maybe you should try like this thing with this other thing. And it's okay if your first outfits don't work in the beginning. Most of us, if you look at us who started 10 years ago and you look at our first outfits, you're going to scream and cry. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's
Eda City.
It's Eda City. It's bad. It's real bad.
That is very true.
Plastic lace. Girl.
No. Dark times.
Trying to wear a petticoat under like a Forever 21 skirt. No. No. I did that.
The flashbacks.
God. Oh, it's too real. But like, I mean, we've come such a long way. I feel like it used to be, I feel like it reminds me of the meme of people like looking at the flames on the wall, like the figures, like Plato's figures, where they're sitting in the cave looking at the figures of the wall, and they like get out of the cave and leave. Like that's where we've come as a Lolita like society. Like I think that's where we've come. We've got a lot better. We don't have to rely on like sketchy resellers anymore. You can get a lot more information from people easily. You're not just limited to like live journal replies that only come once every few hours. People are on Discord constantly, and people will give you the advice you're looking for. Also, don't listen to negative or toxic advice that's about like your body or like your features. If they're saying things about that, run away. Those people are wrong. They're crazy. They're bad. You don't need to change anything about yourself to wear Lolita.
Every single body, every single face is, great for Lolita. You do not have to fit a certain aesthetic at all.
Yeah. And I think in like the age of Lolita that we're in, with a lot of people on even like the most casual Lolitas on like TikTok or YouTube, it's gotten so like there's a variety of people, so you don't feel like completely isolated in regards to like, oh, there's nobody out in the community that looks like me. And it's just like, girl, stroll tag, you got this. Like there's somebody out there that looks like you and give you great tips. And everybody's so friendly and open, and like a lot of people are always kind of like, oh, Lolitas aren't friendly, Lolitas aren't this. And it's just like, you just gotta have like the right vibe to come in here, realistically.
Like we're
But
people
also,
at the end of the
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
But if you
That's
ask
the
us where we
thing.
got our stuff, we'll tell you. We love that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to gatekeep. We want you to have the same cute shit that we do.
Twinning
The
is
opposite of
encouraged.
gatekeeping. We do the
Yeah.
opposite of gatekeeping. We peer pressure. It's great.
Yeah, we'll send you the Taobao link. Just ask.
Yeah, so I think is that
I think that's
time,
it.
Alicia?
I think
Okay.
so, yeah.
Yeah, you guys did great. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
Thank you.
problem. Let me